Hi guys, Mark from Mind Frontiers. Now, in the last video I talked about anger and frustration and how we can move on from that to work on patience, which is kind of the opposite for anger and frustration. Because when we get angry and we get frustrated, often things are not going as we want them to. And patience is about actually let's just deal with that in a more effective way. A lot of people will get angry because people aren't following the rules. So, for example, this current pandemic, people are not obeying the rules. So people get angry and get frustrated and they have no patience. So what can we do about it? Well, first we got to look at ourselves. What messages are they sending that we're receiving? Are we receiving it in the correct way? Are we sending messages to ourselves? Well, they should be doing this and they should be doing that. What messages are we sending? When we say they should be doing this, are we doing that ourselves? Now, just today, I saw a Facebook post and I went, I can't believe what I'm just reading. Now, not all information that's on Facebook is actually true, but I still got my own emotion from it. I still was shocked, unbelievable, and I thought, do you know what? I feel quite angry about this. So I looked it up from several reputable sources, and I was like, oh my god, this is like, how can that be possible? And then I had to take some time and go, actually, this is my model of the world. My model of the world and my values and my beliefs say that this particular thing that I saw conflicted my values and beliefs, because in my mind this shouldn't be happening. And I had to say, well, okay, so my model, my values, my thoughts, my beliefs, my values, that shouldn't happen. That's not how it should happen. But I'm not there. I'm not experiencing that particular situation. I'm here in the here and now. So I took some time and I reflected and I thought, that's not very good. It's not a very good system. But what am I doing to myself when there's nothing I can do that will control that situation? I had to then step back and go, actually, what is the point in me poisoning myself with negative feelings of anger, frustration, annoyance, because somewhere else has done XYZ, and it does not fit with my model and my beliefs of the world? It might not be a good practice. It might not be very effective. But who am I to say whether that's right or wrong? Who am I to actually then go, no, I need to criticise that? That's me making a judgment. And I did that as a knee-jerk reaction. I did that initially. And then go, actually, I'm not there. I'm not living that experience. So I took it upon myself to go, I'm annoyed today. So instead of being annoyed and frustrated, I put it out to the universe or to whatever you believe in and go, today, and I took some nice deep breaths, I'm learning patience. And today I found something that was ineffective. So what can I do differently the next time? Because we can only control what we do. We cannot control other people. We have no right to control other people. So we can only control our own thoughts, our own beliefs, our own values, our own systems. That's all we can do. And sometimes even that's not in our control, but we have to then step back and go, okay, what is in my control at this minute in time? well, that particular post is like, well, I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm going to bypass that. Or I'm going to block it, or I'm going to skip it. Because that is none of my concern. It is nothing to do with me, no matter how bad I might think it might be. Because I am not there. It's not in my control. There is literally nothing I could do about it unless I wanted to rant and rave and put it all over social media, which is not really effective, because you're likely to get trolls and you're likely to get hate mail, and then people will feel even worse. So I have to go, no, I need to let this go. So I let it go. And this is the same sort of thing you need to do, guys. So I'm gonna give you a little scenario. So just play along with me, okay? So I'm going to give you a little scenario that I'm going to talk you through. And I want you just to imagine those sort of things. Okay? So I want you to imagine that you're driving your car. Yeah, driving my car. And all those things that annoy you, stress you, frustrate you, make you anxious or depressed, whatever they might be, because I don't need to know the content, is there by the side of the road. So you're looking at the side of the road. So, because there are obstacles that things like that get in our way, you're going to start to slow the car down. And eventually you're going to come to stop by the side of all these negative aspects and obstacles that are blocking and running your life. Because they're going to get in the car now and push you out. And then drive off with your life. It's not a nice feeling. So, we've come back to the car analogy and what we can do differently. We see them on the side of the road, those things that anger, those things that frustrate us, whether it be ourselves or other people or physical health or whatever it might be. Those things that are in our way. And we're going to go, oh, okay. And today, I'm learning patience as we drive by and we leave them in the past. If we start putting our things in the past, so when we start to worry, we're bringing things up from the past and putting it in the present. When we start to be anxious, we're taking things from the future and putting it in the present. Rather being in the present moment and going, yes, I'm angry, I'm annoyed. So today, I'm learning patience. Patience with myself, patience with other people. Because whatever they're doing or whatever my thoughts are, it's not fitting in with my beliefs, values and thoughts at this minute in time. So there's conflict. We can be in conflict with ourselves, we can be in conflict with others. But when we learn to just take a step back and go, yeah, today, just for this minute in time, that person that jumped the queue, I'm going to learn patience, because maybe their car's going to run out on the meter and they're rushing. Maybe they are just ignorant. We are not them. We do not know what they're going through, what their experience is. We are not living their lives. We are living our lives. So if we're living our lives, we've got no right to make judgments on them, because if we make judgments, we're causing our chemicals in our blood to make us ill. So what we need to do is go, okay, what that person has just done, or what I've just done to myself, is not nice. So what can I learn from it? Okay, today I'm learning patience, and I'm just going to let them do what they need to do. And I'm going to concentrate on a few breaths, whether it be square breathing, whatever type of breathing, or whatever it might be. And I'm just going to just sit and be in the moment. And learn to be in the moment at that time. Just focusing on my breath. Now, I wouldn't advise that if you were driving, for example, in real life, because you still need to be aware. So some people find it useful to talk to somebody or use expletives. But when you have the opportunity in a safe environment where you can go, today I'm learning patience. then it's better to do so. So if you're driving your car and somebody's cut you up, is there a stop nearby that you can actually just go, take 2 minutes and go. Now, when I was younger and I was allowed to drive, I was driving along the road, and they got some roadwork signs, so I was following the roadwork signs, but then they disappeared. And I don't know what happened, but I found myself going up the wrong way on the road because I was following these directions, and then they disappeared. And next thing you know, a great big truck nearly run me over, nearly squashed me and my friend in the car. Not a very pleasant feeling. I was extremely angry, extremely shook up, but I couldn't do anything about it at that minute in time, because at that minute in time I had to avoid the truck and go to a safe place. And it took me another 10 minutes before I could actually find somewhere and go, now I need to just go, I am so stressed, so angry, so frustrated. And I didn't know these techniques of focusing on my breath and learning patience and reflection. I was just all shook up, and it was my friend, who was also shook up, who talked to me in a calm voice. And that was enough to go, yeah, okay, I do feel better now. So we can talk to ourselves in a calm voice, rather than in a negative and critical voice. What is a supportive voice? What would it sound like to you? Which direction would it come from? Who would be it? So, an example of a supportive voice that I've installed for myself is, I used to have a very negative voice that used to come in my head through the bullying and everything that I've had in the past. And it was extremely critical and made me very, very upset. And it wasn't good for me. So, one of my favourite books is Lord of the Rings. So I've matched two different things. I've matched Aragorn from the film with Aragorn from the book, who actually comes in, and because I've installed it over and over again, what he would say to me when I start being self-critical, and he starts laughing, which makes me think, well, that's not so bad then. Have you thought about doing it this way? Have you thought about learning patience? Have you thought about doing it this way? And he'll give me guidance. Now, our brains have the capability to do that. We can look back and we can talk to our little brain, our unconscious mind, so to speak, or talk to our higher self, and ask them to help us install a new program. So today I'm learning patience. And if somebody was going to be supportive of you, who would you choose? So when you're driving your car and all those people are on the side of the road and all those things are on the side of the road that are negative and critical and stop us from doing things and stop us learning patience, who would you have? Who do you admire? Who do you know that's got patience? Who would you know that would sit there and go, actually, let's look at it this way, and maybe change your perspective? As I said, I use Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, but many people, you can use anything they want. I could use my trainer because he's got a very calm voice. I could use anybody. I can use myself if I've got that program. Now, we've all got that program, but sometimes that program is unconscious, and our values and our beliefs don't match with those programs at that minute in time, because we might be in a negative mindset. But the more we do it, the more it becomes a habit, and the more habit it becomes, the more repetition we've done, and the more it's installed, and the greater the impact it will have. Because what we want to do is install something that's going to have an impact like that. See, just switch it off straight away, so that we can go, yeah, today I'm learning patience. Now today, for me, on that Facebook page, it took me a few minutes, but I got there. So today I was learning patience. Today I was looking at my model of the world in conflict with somebody else's model of the world. And when I realised it is actually somebody else's thoughts, somebody else's opinions, that doesn't concern me, what am I getting upset about? Because, so if you think about bullying, people get upset with the bullying, and that's rightly so. But I mean, if it's physical bullying, that's more police matter really, because that's assault. But when it comes to verbal bullying, we're giving them the power. They're driving our car. They're driving our lives. So the opportunities to learn patience aren't in our control until we take it back. So often I will work with somebody and they're like, I'm being bullied. And what did you do? Well, I got really upset. Well, that gives them power. If you turn around and, that's nice, and give them a smile, often they get confused. So there's lots of videos out there on different ways of doing it. Some people give a compliment, and that really confuses people. I've just insulted you. Why are you giving me a compliment? Because you're learning to do things in a different way, so that you are not taking it personally. And when you're not taking it personally, you can easily go, I'm learning patience. So guys, I hope that really helps, because patience is a massive thing, and especially in this world of now, patience is hard to come by until you go, actually, let's take a step back, take some breaths, and reframe it in our brains. I'm angry at you. No, I'm not. Today I'm learning patience because you are my teacher. So all these people and all these things, they're our teachers. They're teaching us what we still need to learn. And our lessons, especially with the frequency changes that I've talked about in the past, are going to come thick and fast. And the more you progress on your journey, so the more you become self-aware, the more lessons you're going to get. And you're going to keep getting the same lessons over and over and over again until you've mastered that lesson. And then you'll get a new lesson. And it's the only way that we are, as a human society, are going to evolve. Which I can talk about in the next video. We need to start learning to accept ourselves so that we can learn to be patient. Because patience is something that we do. It's an after result. It's something that we do, not the actual emotions. The calm is the emotion. The patience is an after effect of the calm. So learn to, I'm learning patience. Learn to reframe it. What can you say differently? What can you do differently? What is this situation or this person teaching me at this minute in time? Let's look at the lessons. School doesn't end when you're at 9 to 5 and then you get to a certain age. No, we're learning all our lives. It's just that we don't call it school. We just call it becoming self-aware. So learn what lessons you need to be taught. And anger and frustration is just a lesson. Driving your car and somebody cutting you up, it's just another lesson. A conflict with another person, just another opportunity to learn and grow. But everything, whether it's positive or negative, it'll either work for you and be effective, or not work for you and be ineffective. And if it's not effective, what can you do differently? And every single thing that we have in life is a lesson. Some are good, some are not so good. So I hope you like this video, guys, because I've enjoyed this, talking about patience, and especially as the fact that I've had to do that lesson again today, and I'm sure I probably will another day, because we are human beings and we learn by example, and we learn from our own mistakes and looking at consequences, and so that we can change what we're doing. When things aren't working, we can become more effective. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and the notifications, because there's going to be more videos coming out. So do take care and give us a smile, guys. Thank you very much.